Hi, this is JC with Route4Me. Who do we have on the call?
Hi, my name is Steven.
Hi, Steven. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. So, Steven, do we need to wait for someone else in your team, or is it just you today?
It's going to be just me.
Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin with your company. Can you tell me a little bit about it, and how do you normally plan your routes?
Yeah, sure. So my company has been around for about 20 years. We deliver office supplies to businesses. And I, yeah, and so I usually, how we've been doing it since the beginning is paper and pen routing. I kind of look at a map and figure out which addresses go in which order.
Okay. And what brings you to Route4Me? What's changing now?
Yeah, so it's pretty slow right now, and I had a colleague of mine refer me to Route for Me, and he told me that Route for Me should be able to help me kind of organize things a little bit better. And like I said,
Okay.
it's really slow right now, so I decided to do some research.
Okay. And why do you think business is slow? What makes you say that?
Yeah, so we've had some long-lasting contracts, but we've had
Mm-hmm.
some time issues.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these. So what we do is we end up bidding for these contracts to deliver office supplies, and lately we have not been
Okay.
winning our bids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually something to do with the organization of the routes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it won't surprise me if your competitors, Stephen, are using routing softwares, much like Route4Me, that helps them build their operation faster. Bring in the results of the routes faster when they're bidding on the jobs, and that's probably why you're not winning any. So let's dig into Route4Me, and I'll show you how you can be on par with that and start winning your bids again. Okay, bring you back into the game. So
Cool.
as you can see right now, I have the screen for Route4Me on the home page. So what we're going to do is we're going to go directly into the home account. Okay. Once you have an active Route4Me account, you'll be able to save all of your previous routes, and this is where the system will take you directly once you log in. Um, every route that you plan in Route4Me will be saved automatically, so you can always have a history of what has been happening daily, and you can always go back to that, create reports, tell your customers what's been happening on the routes, the way you're building them, the way you separate addresses based on proximities, and you send your drivers on their own separate ways. Okay, this is part of what your competitors are probably doing, allocating their costs better, and building better reports that will help them win those bids. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how you work with your data, how you manage the addresses that you have to visit. So what we need is for you to jump into an Excel spreadsheet, much like the one we have on the screen right now. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So we're going to build 5 columns: alias, address, city, state, and SIC. Okay. So if you can jump onto your management system or your computer and you get that list of addresses, you can put it onto an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file, depending on how you manage that. And the alias will basically be anything you use to identify the address. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory, and all you need to make sure is that you have your departure address at the beginning of the list. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes
Steven?
sense.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. So basically, what's going to happen is the system is going to grab the first address, whatever first address you see on the file, as the departure point. So we need to make sure you have your own address. So the way the system is going to help is when you go and grab that file ready, you can go into plan a new route. And this is very easy. It will take you only seconds to plan a route. Upload a file, you name the route, you schedule the route. Let's imagine we're doing this tomorrow. You guys are going to start at 8 a.m. Each delivery takes about, I don't know, what would you say, 5 minutes? Will that sound all right?
Yep, 5 to 10 minutes.
Then all you have to do is just jump into the optimization, tell the system how you want to plan the routes, whether you want the system to tell you how many drivers you want, based on the restriction of time. Do you want to plan a round trip? Do you want the drivers to come back to the office on the end of the route, maybe? You can balance the route and tell the system how many drivers you have available, and then you just plan for those drivers. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to balance the route and plan for 2 drivers. You also have the option to plan for a single driver, okay? So once you go into that, let's say we're going to plan for 2 drivers. I'm in the optimization. I'm going to tell the system that I want to plan a round trip. I'm going to go and create the route, browse through my file, upload it. You can see how the system recognizes the file. The first address highlighted to determine the departure point. We're going to review these addresses, and now the system is telling me where the addresses are located, the way I have them in my file. If I have anything to review, it will come up in these tabs. We're going to take a look at this one. This one looks like it's the correct one. Then the not found, we're going to see if we can improve that one more time. There we go. Looks like the system just needed to double check on that one. So we're going to finish the import. And as you can see, I've already completed 2 routes in under a minute, simply because I was explaining, the step-by-step. You see how fast it is to plan your routes?
Yeah, that was really, really fast.
Right. So instead of mounting pins on a map on the wall and trying to figure it out where to go first and whatnot, the system will do it for you. As I hover on top of this the lines of the map, you can see the departure point, start and end, right here, for both routes. I have, let's see, the blue route will stay on the south portion of the map, and the green route will go over to kind of like stay on the center of the map, right? You can make changes to the sequence depending on your priorities, but the most important part will be this section right here at the bottom of the map. You can see the progress of your route, how many routes you're covering, how many stops in both the routes, your cost in fuel estimated. You can use your analytics section and add the cost of the fuel depending on what kind of vehicles you're using, right? You can change that. You can build reports. You can see an activity feed that will show you what's been going on the routes, a dashboard that will show you how many miles have you planned, how many miles have been covered, how many stops have been visited, and you can build reports based on that. And when you present this to your customers, when you're creating those bids or putting those bids together to win them, there'll be no competitor going ahead of you, simply because you have all the tools necessary to complete the jobs in an efficient manner. Make sense?
Yep, that definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So once you have this ready and the routes are ready to go, all you have to do is assign the user, as users will be created under the team section for users, and then your drivers can download the mobile application onto their smartphones, Androids or iPhone, and you can push the routes over to them. They'll be able to see the route that's been assigned individually, and they can follow the route from there. From there, from the mobile application, drivers will be able to upload pictures, upload video, add text notes. You can interact with a chat format that we have created inside the activity feed for you to communicate with your drivers. And not only that, you can collect a proof of visit, which is a sign on glass signature that they can put on their phones, and they can upload that directly into the system as a note, and you'll be able to download it directly from the website almost immediately. That way, you can build reports. You can prove to your customers that deliveries have been made in a timely manner and efficiently. Routes are being planned within a matter of seconds, and after that, there'll be no way for you not to win any bids.
Awesome. That all sounds great, JC. If you don't mind, can you kind of go over my fuel costs and how that looks with Route for Me?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, not only the fuel cost, but you can add your revenue on to your file. When you're planning the route, you can create a column named revenue. You can kind of determine how much money you're bringing in per stop. Once you do that, the system will recognize it and will add it up in here. Then when you go into the analytics section of it on the left-hand side, you can see your cost, and you can change the value of the fuel and the gasoline depending on your area, right? Once you update, the system will make the changes, and you'll be able to see how you've been spending your money on gas.
Okay, great. Yeah, that looks good.
Excellent, Steven. So let's go ahead and get you moving forward with Route4Me onto your trial. And from there, we'll take you under our wing, show you how the system works. We'll walk you through the entire initiation of your access to Route4Me. We'll put you through onboarding, which is training sessions. We'll show you how to use the system to its fullest, and have you winning bids as soon as possible. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds great, JC. I really appreciate the help.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and end it up for today, Stephen. Go ahead and start your trial. I'll send you an email with my contact details right from here, and right after we're done, and as soon as you start your trial, we'll jump on another session like this so that we can build your first routes, okay?
All right, great.
All right, Stephen, great talking to you. You have a great day, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.